Hi everyone, I hope you're having a good week so far on this Tuesday. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jeff Miller, the pastor at the Belton First United Methodist Church, and in August I'm titling these devotions, We Really Do Need Each Other. It's not an original title to me. It is a title of a book written by Dr. Reuben Welch, who served as the pastor at Point Loma Nazarene College while I was there. And I had a chance to attend Point Loma College. They're on the Point, Southern California, San Diego. And on the Point was this beautiful lighthouse. And it wasn't until years later, after I graduated from college, that when Jeanette and I were on a trip, that we actually toured the lighthouse. And here it is. Well, not really. It's much bigger. And it's not here in Belton. And it's not in the church, but toured that lighthouse. You know, John, in writing his first letter, and We Really Do Need Each Other, is really a collection of sermons on 1 John. John, in that letter, he makes a beautiful affirmation of God. And it is the first affirmation that he makes about God in verse 5. He says, "This is the message that we have heard from him and announced to you. God is." Now, what would you put in? In the very first affirmation, he said, "This is the message that we have heard and we're proclaiming to you. God is," fill in the blank. John says God is light. And that is the first affirmation about God that John writes to the church. God is light. And in him there is no darkness at all. And he says earlier when he starts the letter that he was a witness to that. He witnessed how God was light. You know, a lighthouse serves more than one purpose. Now, I don't know how important with all the GPS and everything, you know, the lighthouses of modern day, but in their day, they served a critical purpose. One was a navigational aid. When they couldn't see, when the ships and the boats couldn't see, there was that light, especially when it was foggy. It gave a navigational aid. If it was cloudy and they couldn't see the stars to navigate by, lighthouses would help guide them. You know, God is light. God is a navigational aid for our journey. And I am on my journey. I am on my own journey. You're on your journey. But God gives to all of us guidance and shows us the way. God's light orients us when we might seem disoriented. And during this time of the pandemic and all the disruptions to life that we've had, I imagine that we kind of are feeling a little disoriented. But it gives us orientation. And one of the beautiful psalms, of orientation, one of the Psalms of orientation is Psalm 8. I hope that you will take time to read that. I just want to read a couple of verses from that wonderful psalm, and it helps give us our orientation. Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name throughout the earth. You made your glory higher than the heaven. When I look up at the skies and what your fingers made, the moon and the stars that you set firmly in place, what are human beings that you think about them? What are human beings that you pay attention to them? And there's an orientation. The psalmist feeling a little insignificant when he looks at the vast universe. But then here's the answer, and the answer comes immediately after the question. You've made them only slightly less than divine, crowning them with glory and honor and grandeur. You know, our orientation in the universe is that we are made just a little lower than God. We have that responsibility, that glory and grandeur. But when we're feeling disoriented, God is light and will continue to guide our way on the journey. This is the message that we have heard, and we proclaim to you that God is light. God bless.